Hi guys, Bill McGrath here. I want to talk to you about some of my favorite machetes. These days when camping, in the summertime at least, I don't carry a hatchet or an axe. I carry a machete as my longer blade because I have to trim wild thorn bushes and vines and things like that in the area where I live. And it just makes a lot more sense to me than for the type of firewood I'm processing, which is pretty small diameter stuff, to use a machete over lugging around an axe. So the first one I show you is this cold steel barong machete. You know, dealing with the Philippine martial arts, I tend to like Philippine pattern blades. And this leaf-shaped blade on the barong gives you a really nice sweet spot or point of percussion right in the center of the blade. You got a nice fine tip for penetration if you need to use a point for work. And it just, they make a nice machete. For some reason though, cold steel is dropping that particular item from their line. So another barong machete, which I like a lot, is the Condor barong machete. A little heavier. The cold steel uses a flat stock. This, I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera here, is a tapered stock. It starts off about 3/16, which would be pretty heavy. It was carried all the way up to the tip, but tapers to a very fine point. So it's a lightweight blade. One of the few machetes found that comes razor sharp right out of the box. They give you a nice leather sheath with it. Little soft. I'll probably want to put some beeswax on that to harden it up. But for the price, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Polypropylene handle fits the hand well. It's rounded. You don't have that those sharp corners like you do on the Ontario machetes. And just a very nice all-around machete for a short blade. I like 12-inch machetes, you know, the shorter machetes for work. I live in New York State. You know, this area, you don't need that long 18, 24-inch Latin-style machete up here. So these work very well. For the type of wood I'd be processing in the summer, this is all I need. Before I got these other two, you know, I had various Ontario machetes. You know, this is a 12-inch cutlass machete. I want to talk to you a little bit about the grind here. I got this idea from a Brazilian survival instructor. Actually, he's American living in Brazil, named Dave Colhane. If you go on my YouTube channel, the channel itself, and look at my favorites, you'll see machete modifications. You'll see how this is done in more detail. And I also encourage you to check out Dave's YouTube channel itself. It has a wealth of information about machete use and other outdoor topics. Anyway, what he's done, and what I've done on all my weight forward or tip heavy type machetes, is the first 2 to 3 inches, he has what's called a Scandi grind. It's a flat V-shaped grind, which is very good for woodworking. You can actually take this, use it as a draw knife for planing wood if you need to flatten down something, make notches and whatnot. It's a very nice add-on to your machete work. Those front 2-3 inches you're not going to use for impact, so you might as well do that. The first 2 inches on the Ontario machete is dull. Over here it's actually a choil, so I trim that down on a belt sander down to bring the edge down. The rest of the blade is done as a standard convex grind, sometimes called an apple seed grind or Moran grind. That's what you'd find on an axe. It's a slightly curved or belled type of grind, and that gives you the ability to have more impact without bending over your cutting edge. On the back edge, Dave has ground a flat spot right here, so you have sharp corners, deliberately sharp corners on either side here. That's good for striking a flint. That's good for making Maya dust out of, you know, pine resin-soaked fat wood. And then on the end here, the last, I'll say 6-8 inches, is rounded off, fairly smooth, so that if you're using it as a draw knife, you can hold the back here, and it's still comfortable. A nice modification. I like it a lot. And as I said, I've done this on all my weight forward machetes. Still debating if I'm going to do that with my barong machetes, because the sweet spot here is closer to is really the center of the blade. You won't have that much edge to do a Scandi grind. So these are my machetes. We'll be covering the use of these defensively in the afternoon session on the PTI summer camp, and the morning session, safety, use, sharpening, those type of things. In the morning session of the summer camp, we do our outdoor survival skills session. All right, guys, take care. Bye now.